laying inside, breath flowing. The intention today is connecting to our bodies kind of like the ocean. Imagining kind of like the ocean and how it has waves. Those waves are calming, they're relaxing. People love to just be by the ocean to get to hear just that rhythmic nature, the coming in and the going out of water. And so imagine this is a calming class. It's nice that we get to even have this rocking motion of our bodies just laying in the hammock. That kind of gets us into that oceanic feel. The ocean is also, I think of it as really healing for our bodies. It has tremendous energy, but it's different than the energy of like the earth and volcanoes and stuff. It's the energy of kind of everything working together to create change, to create motion to happen. And so that's the kind of stuff that we'll be playing with. And just think of how our bodies are more water than anything else. And so with that fact, connecting with this water, with ocean, with that quality can be really helpful, helping, heal, calm, relax, regardless of how everything around us is going. We're feeling more connected. One particle of water loves to just connect with the next one. And so that's the image that we can keep in the back of our mind. So let's start off with some of our beginning stretches. Let's allow arms to extend all the way to back wall. And then allow shoulders to wiggle to right, shoulders to left. Taking a couple of times nice and easy to each direction. Feel the breath flow in and out with you. Good. When you're back through the center next, take the right knee into chest, give that knee a good hug. Maybe some ankle rolls. One thing about water is it doesn't stay still unless it's really cold, like ice. So besides that, it tends to be moving. Maybe one more roll to the ankle. And then let the legs start to extend up to sky. And maybe this extension today has a little bit more movement than it normally does. Usually I'll hold this statically. I'll just pull it in really tight. But maybe there's something that wants to move, whether it's a slight pulsing of the knee going from a bent state to a slightly straighter state, or maybe it's the ankle kind of easy rolling out still. But with whatever that tender motion is, take one more good breath in and out. Good, and then hip opener. Hook the foot to the back left side. Slide the shin in. Let that hip have a couple of good breaths. Chakra-wise, the hip chakra is where we connect most fully to the water element. So I'd love to throw in little tiny moments for our hips like this. So easy breaths continuing to flow. One more huge inhale for this leg. A nice exhale. Start to free out this leg. Drop it all the way down. Good. Second knee into chest. Have that fluidity. The ankle can roll. I like to make sure I take at least a couple clockwise and a couple counterclockwise. When that feels pretty good there, leg can extend up to sky. Grab on wherever it's comfortable. And you have teeny little movements here. It's like in a pool when the water sloshes to one side and then the other. That's kind of what that gentle movement can feel like. Good. And let's hook left heel to back right. Slide into that hip opener. Just imagining the quality of water, the softening quality. It's not so harsh and hard as earth. So stinging is fire. Good. Take one more breath in and out. Free out the leg. And as we drop it down, for this first little part here, we're gonna leave legs inside the fabric. Stretch the arms up overhead. That'll be our inhale. With our exhale, we'll do a full roll up to stretch over our toes. So exhale, arms lift up, do a little crunch, stretch over the legs. And inhale, slowly roll the back all the way down. Arms finish, stretch into that back wall. Exhale again, roll up. Inhale, roll down. Let's take another 4. Somehow this is like the ocean wave rushing in and back. 3. Taking 2. Notice how that exhale can even be like the ocean wave sound. It's that huge rush. 1. End up rolling back. And then take one bonus crunch up. Staying in the stretch over those 2 straight legs. And can there be a soft quality to the neck? Perhaps that's where we're softening here. Notice how the roll-ups brought us to a soft rocking state. It's like we're on a boat again. Move into shoulders for a moment. Anchor right hand on left leg wherever you can reach. So it might be foot, ankle, or calf. But right hand anchored on left leg. Left hand, we're going to allow that shoulder to stretch up to sky. And circle all the way back. And return. Repeat that shoulder opener, same thing. 2. And back. Lift up. And forward. One more, this time stay in that twist behind you, a few bonus breaths. Good, one more inhale. Exhale, return arm. This time we're anchoring left hand on the right leg wherever you can. And then right arm, 3 times, go up and back. 3. And return. Repeating 2. And return. This last one, stay in the twist just a little longer. Good, one more inhale. Exhale, let's return that arm forward. And let's kick the feet free off the front. Let's go into our hip hang. So thumbs can slide on the back side of fabric. That pushes the fabric to about where the pant line is. That tends to be the most comfortable spot. So push it all the way to about where pants are and then lean back to lock it in place right there. And can slide back up to grip when it's locked where you want it to be. Yeah, take your time to readjust, otherwise it ends up in a uncomfortable spot, but wide legs as you tilt back. Make sure that you won't fall out, and then ankles wrap. Okay, so it's not quite sitting on it. It's about where your pant leg is. Yeah, so it's like where your shirt meets your pants. Yeah, right there. Yeah. Okay, and same over there, Dylan. You're sitting on it. You don't want it to be by sitting bones, you want it to be by where your pants and your underwear is, right at your low back. Good. So slide that even more. Yeah, right there. Good. Wide legs, ankles wrap, and your arms can let go. Very good. So let the spine hang. This is a spot where you can bring in some of those fierce qualities of the water, such as adding in some strength aspects like crunches. So if you'd like to crunch, you can either do crunches directly up and down. You could do oblique crunches, right elbow toward left knee, and then left elbow toward right knee, or lateral crunches going more through the side. So lots of angles you could play with. You get to choose how many reps. Then you also choose where and if you're going to just soften into the pose. So just keep listening to the body. Give you guys plenty of time to be here. Those that are still upside down, let's give it a final couple of breaths, maybe 2 or 3 good rounds of breath. And then you'll grab that spot by inner thighs, unwind the legs, and then softly pop back up. Good, as our head is still returning from being upside down to being in this upright plane, take a nice twist, bunch up fabric to front door side. And then your shoulder that's closer to that painted mountain wall, that one opens up or circles around the back side of the head. Easy spinal twist for the spine, for the ribs, all of that creating new spaciousness. Water likes to fill all the spaces. Another breath in and out. And then let's switch sides, bunch up fabric to back door. Again, the shoulder closer to that painted wall opens up or circles around the back side of head. Another huge breath in and out. Good. Release. Arms on the outside of both ends of the fabric. We're taking a boat pose, like we're on the water. So we lean our back backwards just a little bit. The knees come in, hands can be holding on or not, you choose. And then like rolling water, let's circle one leg out and the other. Keep breathing. Here's 10 and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Knees rest down. Tapping into that healing quality of water. Bunch the fabric back up to the side that faces you into the center of the room. Makes it easiest to see what's going on. Lock the arm straight on that side. And then the hip that's closer swings up and over. That way we end up in a little straddle. Lock the arm straight because that gives the hips some space, and then the leg swings over. Beautiful. So we're gonna take both legs up onto the fabric in front of us. We do that by taking one hand like a stop sign, press into the fabric immediately in front of your face, that's the center. The second hand grabs the ankle and then places it up exactly where that first hand is. Once you got one foot up, it's pretty easy to take the second foot up right next to the first. And then the idea is trying to straighten the legs up as much as they'll go today. Doesn't have to be all the way straight if the hamstrings are super tight here. They have a little bend. But feel this healing quality of being hugged inward like this. See how deep your breathing can go? Can it go clear down into low belly? Not just the lungs, not just the nose, but all the way down into that low belly, giving us a low belly massage. If you love both legs being upright like this, you can stay, or you can transition toward cobbler pose, sliding the feet closer to the pelvis, knees bending outward. Feel how it is to tap back into those hips. Try to keep the breath rolling into that low belly area. Relax in the space, another 2 deep breaths. Try to make them as slow as possible. As your second one wraps up, we start to unwind. We're going to end up with both legs fraying their way out the front. We recenter the hips. Good, and then let's head on out of the fabric, all the way out the front. I like to grab on through the outside so that way it doesn't have any chance of face diving forward. So grab on the, yeah. That's one way, but usually I'll grab on the outside and just lift my hips up and down. Good. Okay, let's leave the fabric over the front of shoulders. Let's take a couple of circles. So open the arms, circle the hands above the head and around, and then twice, sometimes even a third one, Our hips are gonna be the big point of the circle. So lean your hips backwards. Start to circle around the hips all the way forward and around. Start with one direction. So if I'm circling the hips to the right, stay with that direction. 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 good rounds until your fingers are ready for a break. And then you'll just wiggle them up at the top. Good. Let's go ahead and take a break so that we can have enough grip strength for the second side. So go ahead and wiggle fingers for a moment. Re-grip on when you're ready. Lean back and take the circles to the other direction. So now if you did right before, do a couple to the left. You have just as much freedom, maybe 5 or 6 good rounds, whatever feels good for the fingers on this side. Beautiful. Whenever your fingers are ready this time, and you can keep going another circle or two. Some of us love this one. When you're happy, take the fabric out in front. Very soft grip of the arms, upper body forward, hips back. Low back and hips have any wiggles that feel good. You can just be kind of shaking your hips out. It can be a full sway to each side. It could even just be a cat-cow rounding up and down. Subtle movements, waking up some of those muscles that have kind of gotten stuck today. Beautiful. One more inhale. Nice exhale. Soften the knees. Roll the spine up. Beautiful. We're going to step our right foot all the way through the fabric until thigh is where the fabric is. We're not too far behind plumb line, just a matter of inches when we gaze up. I like to start with flat hands high, still recovering those fingers. Sink your weight of the hips forward. Feel the front of the hip open nicely. Beautiful. Weight comes back. Slip fabric down to ankle. Depending on your flexibility today, maybe you just slide hands down, that's level 1. Maybe instead you slide hands up and sink your weight forward, that's level 2. Level 3 is hopping up to the top of the mat, and then that naturally will lift the angle of the leg higher, but it does require a lot more balance. So make sure if you feel like you're losing your balance, you grip high for that one. The high grip will make sure you don't actually fall down. Good. Bring spaciousness. Maybe subtle movements, like a soft bend to the knee, and then let it try to go a little straighter. Feel how that can open up some of the tissues that are resisting it. Beautiful. So if we went forward at all, we want to go back under plumb line. Step the right foot into the fabric. Good. We're gonna come upright to stand. So hands grab on. We're using arm strength to lift us up, and then step both feet inside. So from here, what we're doing is a little sequence. The sequence starts off by lowering hips down, like we're sitting on the heels. Step 2, straighten the legs. Step 3, arm strength pulls us back up. Good. So repeating that 4 more. Bend knees, straighten legs, arm strength pulls up. Good. You can always make it easy just by going up and down. That's fine. Here's 3. Beautiful. Grip a little higher, that might help your balance. 2. Good. And then 1. Amazing. So when we're back up, let the left foot come forward. That left foot is going to softly land on the ground. At the same time, this right foot is trying to flip so that I catch the other side of the foot in the fabric. So it looks like this. I grip on tightly so I can do the foot flip. And then I lower the left foot to ground. I'm in front of fabric. Try to hold on long enough to do a little foot flip. Okay, you can even step inside, that's fine. If you end up completely outside the fabric, just step your right foot in. And you're standing in front. Yeah, so left foot's forward. And you're landing that left foot to the floor. Good, and then just get that right foot back in. I know it's hard. If your armpits are in, go ahead and free armpits out. And then when you get here, lean your shoulders back. Let's stretch that quad for a moment. Good. And upright, dancer's pose. Hands lowering down, gets the grip closer to the foot. Hands higher up is a little softer of a back bend. So choose either way. We lean forward, and then we kick the foot into the fabric to create the arch. Good. Keep the elbows pointing forward. Beautiful. Come back upright. If you can balance, hands at heart. If you need the help, hands grip behind low back. 5 times, we're gonna kick both feet into a bent knee position, lunge, and then sweep it back up. Good. 4. If the knees are bugging you, doesn't have to be very deep. Good. 3, 2, 1. Good. Gripping back up high. Bring your armpits inside. What we're gonna try to do here, one last thing before we switch sides. Try to push your foot into the fabric. That should lift you up enough to slip the second foot in. We've got a kneeling position. Good. Yep, use that leg strength to help you. You got it. Okay, so I usually like to grip about where my shoulder height is. My knees tilt forward. That will engage a double quad stretch. And then the rest of my spine gets a nice little back. Keep those knees tilting forward. That's pretty intense, so don't feel like you have to overdo it. Good. And then softly back up when you're ready. Good. Let's slide the hands up. We're going to try to do one last little pull-up from here. The leg strength takes us up to our hands. And then we try to reverse that softly back down. Good work. So we should end up behind fabric. Go ahead and take your left thigh all the way in. Good. Hop right up to the plumb line. Flat hands high. And then sink your weight forward. Good. Weight comes back. Slip it to ankle. Level 1, just simply slide hands down. Level 2, hands up, weight forward. Level 3, hop forward. That will lift up the leg naturally on its own. Good, I'm hearing actually the oceanic breath for a lot of people here. That's beautiful, that light constriction of throat. It's one way to connect with water beautifully through our class, and it reminds us to breathe. More breath in and out. You hopped forward, slide back, step the foot in. Good. We got the strengthening series one more time. We got this. So hands up. Let's get ourselves to stand, both feet inside. Okay, we're gonna try to go for 5. Don't know that you don't always have to hit 5. If you're getting even 2 or 3 good ones, then that counts. So knees bend, we're lowering. Legs straighten. Arm strength lifts us back. Good. 4. Breathing, the breath is the important part here. 3. 2. And 1. Amazing. I feel like we were all even stronger on that one than the first round, so good job. So now right foot forward. The right foot's gonna be the one that lands on the ground. We're trying to flip left foot before we land down. If you end up just coming out, just take your left foot in. Okay. So armpits free. Just let the fabric and the shoulder blades rest together behind you. Lean back. A good moment for our heart to calm. Beautiful. Come back up. Standing in the center. Dancer's pose. Maybe the hands are higher, maybe they're lower. So we lean forward, kick the foot into the fabric to create that back bend shape. Keep the elbows plugged in, pointing forward. Good. Lean back up. 5 lunges. Maybe we can balance hands at heart. If you need to grip to low back. We're kicking backwards, both knees bent, and sweep back up. 4. 3. 2. 1. Good work. When we finish that last one, hands come up high, armpits slide in. Okay. This one's the one, remember that you can use the strength of the leg that's already in the fabric. That gets us lifted up enough that right foot can also slip in when kneeling. Good. So knees tilt forward, and the rest of the heart gets to arch back. Good. Slowly rise up. Ooh, that's okay, that's one way to get out. Okay. Try to use your leg strength to lift you up to hands and then softly jump lower out. Oh, good work, guys. I think we deserved an inversion after that. So let's go ahead and take ourselves in front of fabric. So hands all the way through behind. Thumbs help the fabric get to sacrum. So instead of that pant line, it's like an inch lower than that. So sacrum is that flat part of hips. I'm up on tippy toes, 1 foot steps back. I bend my knees and I engage my core. I make sure the fabric doesn't slip up past that sacrum. Tiptoe 2 or 3 steps forward until you're under plumb line, and then hands off knees wide. Good. And just wrap your ankles. Beautiful. You can release hands once you're there. If the fabric didn't fall in quite the right spot, you can always come out, readjust. I'll guide you through chandelier. You don't have to take it, but it can be a nice kind of hip opener, back bend. So a chandelier, right leg unwinds, it straightens through the side. Continue to point that right leg all the way behind you to me, my voice. All the way to mirror. Good. Let it lower. Go ahead. Yeah, good, good. And then the knee bends. One or both hands can come behind you to try to grab onto the foot. Good, that chandelier. So I'll let you choose how long you want to stay on one side. Note that if you want more of a quad stretch, you can pull the foot closer to glute. If you want more of the back bend, push the foot away. So I'll let you choose how long to stay on the first side. Whenever you decide to switch, try to stay about equal time on the second side. Place the ankle on the other side. You got it, just like that. Other variations you want to play with as well, go for it. So just like every inversion, don't feel like you're trying to compete with anybody for how long you can be upside down. This is you listening to your body. When you know it's time to come up, softly come up. But I'm gonna give you time. Just let yourself hang as long as this is still feeling amazing with your body. Let it be under shoulder blades. That way it supports you. As we're coming out, if it feels nice to use the hands to support the head, that can help the head lean back comfortably. Oftentimes I'll have a soft sway or a significant sway, bending one knee, leaning all the way over, and bending the other knee. We're starting to transition back to some of those calming, healing qualities of water as we're heading to this last part of class. Give your head time to flip back upright first. You guys are upside down quite a while, so don't feel rushed out. But you'll help me know when you're feeling pretty good by eventually standing up on your own. And if it takes a little bit more time, don't feel rushed. You're doing okay. You're out before others. Go ahead and take some wrist rolls. It's nice and easy, circling it all the way out. Okay, so with fabric in front of us, grab the part that's behind you and wave it out. Or that's So you've got fabric in front of you, grab the back end. There you go. Wave that part out. Good. So walk back up to it, and you're taking the right leg inside in a way that the leg is entirely in the fabric. In a moment, we'll have to be up to glute. This first one doesn't matter quite as much. From here, you'll notice if you're super far behind the plumb line, it's a struggle to pull against the fabric the whole time. So just hop right up to it. Head is like an inch or two behind. And then for this first one, just take both arms inside the fabric. The elbows can be bent outward, and then push the elbows outward. This lifts up the leg. It rises the leg up a little bit to you, and it helps you lean down onto it. Give that hamstring another couple of breaths. A beautiful healing quality of water. Good. Torso up, leave the left hand inside. The right hand circles up to sky. Comes all the way to the back wall. If that left arm can continue to push the leg to the left, it gives that right leg a little IT band stretch. Good. Circle this right arm all the way forward. Let the knee bend out to side. If you're not covered fabric up to glute, do cover up to your glute. Yeah, so swivel the knee toward front door side for you. Yeah, there you go. And then cover fabric up to glute. You're gonna dive arms through the center of fabric. Good, just a couple of stretches here. A quadricep stretch, letting this knee bend, that left one that's down. See if the left hand can scoop up, grabbing the left ankle. If you don't feel your quadricep stretching, pull the knee backwards a little bit. Good. And a lotus pose. Just try to grab the foot in front now. It can be a low grip if the hips are tight. It can be placed on top of the other calf. You can use hands, or if there's enough friction to hold it, you could float hands at heart. Either way, imagine kind of being in an air bubble inside of the water. kind of free floating your way up. Imagine how a bubble and a stream might be moving along with the current. Just kind of imagine being rocked into. More good breath in and out. Let this left foot back to ground, slide it back for a moment. As we lean forward, slip some of the fabric down closer to the knee. That'll allow hips to drop a little bit lower. The pigeon pose. And then we're going to safely come out so we can do second side. So hop the foot right underneath body. Roll up and out in a way that makes you have balance and makes it so the fabric doesn't bunch up. You're ready for second side. Left foot will step all the way in when you get there. Wave it out if you need to. Dive both elbows in, push the elbows out. This lifts the leg up. Soften into that hamstring. Now make sure you're not too far behind plumb line. It'll help balance a lot. Good. Whistle up. Leave the right hand. Left hand circles up and back. And the right arm continues to push the leg to the right. Return the arm. Bring the knee out to the side. Make sure you're covered up to glute and then dive both arms through center. Quadricep stretch. Make sure you're covered up to feet or you'll see flow. But quadricep stretch, we've got the right hand going for that right ankle behind you. We pull the knee back. That helps that quad. If you'd like to take the lotus, come in front for a couple of breaths, closing the eyes. Just a beautiful meditative state. Imagining that air bubble just traveling around the water. Whatever type of water you'd like to envision. Free floating, free quality. Trying to learn more about the currents. How they move. More deep inhale. Exhale that last pigeon, dropping the foot down, slide it back. I like to slip fabric back down to the knee. That just allows me to sink my hips a little lower. One more huge breath in and out. Popping the foot up to us. Let's ease the shoulders out with balance, ease the foot out. We'll head to Shavasana, so if you want to play on the floor today, that's fine. If you want to come back inside, come up to the mirror top side, wave it out. And head on inside for a couple of minutes of just easeful rest together. begin to deepen our inhales. Deepen our exhales. Introduce little movements back to the body. Some people might be stretching arms to the back wall, letting the shoulders wiggle right and left a few times. Some people like to take a fetal position. That's the body stays long, but we roll over onto one side, so one hip stacks on top of the other hip. The fetal position, you can curl in like a tight little ball, and then arc the spine back, almost like a super exaggerated cat-cow. Nice to take a couple of those back and forth on one side. After 2 or 3 on one side, I'll usually flip to the second side. Another couple on that. Raising our body up, we're preparing, we're returning. So sooner or later, when everything feels pretty balanced, no rush, but when we get to that good spot, eventually we head up to a comfortable seated place. Good. So as we're up at the seated place, take hands together in front of heart. Reconnect back to that idea of the ocean and how the ocean affected us today. Think of the healing qualities, think of the strength qualities, the connected qualities. Maybe there's one quality we'd like to integrate into our life just a little bit more fully the next couple of days. But with this inspiration of the ocean to lead us on, let's wrap up the time we got to share together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. Om. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.